I wrote about the year 2008. It was a pretty rough year for me. I was a freshman in high school, something that any girl, because boys usually hit it either later or earlier, but a girl stepping into that freshman year of high school is it's crazy. You start liking boys, boys are liking you, and things are happening, and so freshman year is already crazy. However, it was right at the end of winter break, my stepdad was killed in Iraq. He'd been there twice before that. It was either his second time there or his third time. Well, I guess it was technically his third time because he was on emergency leave before he went back because my mom got really sick with their son, Michael. It's my youngest brother. He's 6 now. And she got really sick. She got blood clots in her lungs. My whole entire summer before freshman year, I was playing volleyball. I was in honors classes, which in high school you have homework and stuff. I was in ROTC, but my mom got sick, and my stepdad came home from Iraq on emergency leave because of it. She was in the hospital for 49 days, I think, and he was here for most of that. I had to give up my entire summer. No more volleyball, open gyms, no more ROTC. I dropped it. No more honors classes because I couldn't do the homework. My entire life was devoted to taking care of my little brothers because I couldn't really do it much for my mom because she was just in the hospital and my dad was with her. So I stayed home with my brothers. I took care of them. I basically was mommy while she was gone. I made the bottles. I changed diapers. I put them to sleep. I woke them up. Everything. It was exactly what a mom did. I had no time for myself. And on the rare occasion, my grandparents would take over, but most of the time they spent time with my mom because the doctor said she was gonna die. Like, that's how extreme it was. She was actually supposed to die. She ended up having her colon removed and all of this stuff ended up happening, and she was going to make it. My dad still had some time to finish in Iraq. I think almost a year left, a little less than a year. So he went back in late August, early September, somewhere right in there, right around the time that I started school. And we were very close, me and my dad. He knew that was my mom, and even though they were my brother's moms too, they were so little. I'm 2 and 3, 2 and 4, like really little. They were so little. So they didn't really know what was going on. They knew their dad was home, they knew their mom was sick, but how do you understand that your mom is going to die? You don't tell a 2-year-old that. So Tom and I actually became closer than ever before. Even though he had been in my life since I was 6, he taught me how to ride a bike, he taught me how to swim, he taught me how to tie my shoe. I love my dad, but he wasn't as active as my stepdad was. My stepdad was definitely more the active dad, and my other dad is like my best friend kind of dad. So I had what most people have in one dad, just in 2. And we became really close when my mom got sick, closer than ever before, just because it was something that we really had to work together to help each other. Like, we were each other's coping mechanisms. It was the only way we could do it, and we bonded through that, which is sad, but it was definitely became stronger. We were always close, but stronger through this because we had to be, for her and for the boys. And for ourselves, really. So when he went back, it was different than it ever was before, because before it was like, dad was going to work, just like anybody's dad going to work. He'd been there before, he's there all the time, and for long periods of time, and he came back every time. He was good at what he did. But this time when he left, it was different. We needed him to stay. When my mom was sick, I was carrying all this stuff on my shoulders, and he was the only person that was really like right by my side telling me that it was going to be okay and that I was doing such a good job. You know, I was 14 and I was stepping up to the plate being 30 at the time, and he was really that person that was right there, right at my side. And he went back right close to around the time I started school, and my mom started getting kind of better, not a whole lot better. I was always at her house, so what I did really was I went to school and I came home to take care of my brothers. I woke up, I got them started for the day, and I went on with my day at school, came back. It was just a constant cycle. And she started getting better right around Christmas, and it was hard because he wasn't there, but you know, we Skyped and we had pictures and we talked on the phone and stuff like that. He got to talk to us. We didn't know that was the last time we would actually talk to him ever again, because it was pretty shortly after Christmas, January 3rd, that we received the news that he was killed. And that we had already gone through everything with my mom being sick and really trying to step up in that sort of way, and it shot everything back down. There was like no way to cope with it. It was impossible. My mom was sick. I had no life outside of taking care of my brothers. I had no hope except for Dad coming home and being that rock again, because we needed him. We needed him before he left, and he had to. It wasn't much, unless you resign, you don't really have a choice from that. And it was just something that nobody could possibly imagine what that's like, and unless you've been through it, or maybe you know someone who's been through it, because it's not like losing a grandparent, which is terrible. I haven't lost any of my grandparents. I can't imagine what I would do if I did, because they've been there my whole life. I have 4 grandparents plus step-grandparents. They're everywhere. But it's not like losing someone that you know you're going to lose. Even though we knew that there was a risk, it caught us off guard. There was a plan that he was going to come home. They were going to move to Hawaii because that was where he's going to be stationed next. Everything was just shot. My mom got sick again because she was stressed and coping, and I mean, basically it all just went downhill from there. It was already downhill, and it went even farther. And it was something that put a lot more stress on me, because I already had to step up for my mom. I already had to do that. And when Tom died, I had to step up even more. I didn't have enough coping time for myself, because I was trying to tell my mom that we were going to get through it. And so my mom, while she's crying, I have to try not to cry and be her rock, because there's nobody else. It was me. The boys don't understand. You can't, like, telling them their mom was going to die. You can't explain to them that their dad is not coming home. It's impossible. It's so hard to do that. So I didn't really have a lot of time for myself. I didn't have a lot of time to sit in the corner and cry by myself. I did, but I didn't have time. I had to step up. I had to be there for my mom and for my brothers, because my mom wasn't going to be there for my brothers. She was a mess, an absolute disaster. Who could blame her? I'm not saying that she wasn't when she should have been, but I had to be, because there was no one else. And the rest of my freshman year just went like that. Not only did I have confusing stuff at school going just with being a teenage girl, but a young teenage girl, but also my home life was a disaster. I hardly saw my biological father, because I was always at my mom's house just trying to take care of everything that was going on, and at the same time trying to cope for myself, which was really hard, because I didn't like I said, I didn't have time to do that. It's something that is life-changing, definitely. I still am coping with it to this day because I didn't get to go through all the steps like everyone else. I'm a lot weaker when it comes to it. Just the other day, I left my philosophy class because we were debating about war. I can't do it. It's such a sensitive topic. I have not fully closed on it. And not that anybody ever really does, but it hasn't gotten to that point for me where I can just remember the good times. I do all the time, but I still cry inside. I still am upset about it. It's really hard. Sometimes I think about how proud of me he would have been, because he was always really proud of me, and I miss him all the time. Sorry. And that's what I wrote about in my paper. I'm still going through it. It changed me. I'm so strong. I know that. I'm a very strong person, and I know how to be there for other people, and I try to be there for myself, but it's really hard to put myself first. And it definitely just changed who I am. I don't know who I would have been without him, period, but without everything that happened, it was definitely something that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It definitely, I believe full-heartedly in that statement. It's true. It didn't kill me, and I'm a stronger person than I might have never been.